I've kind of always noticed that big feelings always come with a setback. And I never knew why. I kind of just leaned into the idea that I'm a logical person and logical persons can't handle feelings very good. If you look at Myers-Briggs, you will have the concept of thinkers and feelers. And I consider myself a thinker, a INTP. And an INTP are notoriously bad at handling feelings. It all makes sense if you look at it that way. And the feelings we do have are usually quite childish and not very mature, at least not when we're young. And the Myers-Briggs model of the INTP is very much a young person. They're describing a young adult for sure. So looking at that way, it all made sense to me for many years. But from the perspective of borderline personality disorder, it also makes sense. I can't handle strong feelings very well. And sadly, that includes strong feelings of joy. Even if I must say, they tend to be the ones who are the least problematic. It's usually just a feeling of backlash and emptiness the days after. You know, like having a big party or something where everything is joyous and fun and you have your friends there and there's laughter and there's happiness and so on. I feel very empty afterwards. But so doesn't many people, so I really haven't made any strong connection to any condition from it. I just thought that's the way it is for a lot of people. And then there's the other types of feelings, the feeling of sadness and the feeling of stress, basically. Let's call stress a feeling because it kind of is. It's a weird feeling. It's not usually described as a feeling, but I kind of want to describe it as a feeling. And it really just destroys me. It is a pathway to a lot of chaotic other feelings, as is the feeling of sadness. So whenever I've felt really sad, as with the problems I've had with my relationship ending and so on, a lot of depression there, a lot of sadness. It's a spiral. You just fall into it and you lose control. And the same goes with stress, but in another way. It's like walking into a dark room and suddenly you start hitting things. You're just bumping your knee into things and you start feeling like you don't know what's coming constantly. That's how stress feels for me. It's like entering a dark room with a lot of dangerous things everywhere. Sadness is a feeling of falling into a well that I just keep falling into and getting worse and worse and worse until something, usually something external, stops me and pulls me up. This is all very strange. I can't really see a pattern other than strong feelings being problematic. I've always felt attracted to logic and reasoning and very logical beings. The young me felt, I felt a huge connection to characters like Data in Star Trek, the android, his struggles. I also felt a connection to things like Vulcans in Star Trek as well. Of course, I felt things, so it wasn't really a good feeling a connection to Data was just probably ridiculous because data is unable to feel things. But Vulcans do feel things. They just bury it really, really deep because they can't handle it very well if they let it out. So, yeah, that's been my life, looking at feelings as problematic. Sometimes nice. Of course I enjoy feeling happy. I do. But I always know there's going to be a backlash. So it's kind of always a bit murky, that feeling. So, can I do something about this? No. Of all the things I've thought about, I'm close to 50 now, life, the feeling of not being able to really do anything about these things other than trying to avoid them. That's it. And I feel great content, enjoyment in peace and quiet when there is nothing, when there is no strong feelings, when there is no stress, no sadness, no great ups and downs of any kind. That is when I feel happy. That is a Zen moment for me, basically, if I'm going to describe it as anything. It is, maybe it sounds sad to some people who constantly look for joy in everything. But for me, it's not. Happiness is happiness. If you use the word happiness as a, not a strong feeling, but just when nothing is wrong, when absolutely nothing feels wrong. That is happiness for me. And yeah, I will probably never change on this. And I hope that if anything change, it is my ability to always go there, to always end up there, and to be good at ending up in that spot, that tranquil place. That is the place I feel best at, for sure. This is the Borderline Man, signing off.